Around this time last year, I went through some major life changes that left me feeling stuck, unmotivated, and anxious about the future. Knowing things needed to change, but feeling lost about how or where to start. But flash forward 365 days to today, and not only was I able to get my life back together, but I'm also feeling stronger, happier, and healthier than ever before. And while this complete 180 isn't something that happened overnight, I'm so happy that the me from a year ago took all of the steps she did to get me to where I am today. But looking back, I remember how getting to where I am today felt impossible to me at the time. So in today's video, I wanted to share a simple guide on how to hit the reset button on your life in as little as 1 week, with a few simple and actionable steps that you can use to get your life back together in a way that's not stressful or overwhelming. And the best thing about this is that once you master the steps to this life reset, you can use them again and again and again whenever your life starts to feel messy or chaotic. And before you know it, you'll have completely transformed your life into something unrecognizable to what it looks like today. Also, I just wanted to say that when I was thinking about making this video, I noticed that every single life reset video I could find was made by single and child-free women who are way younger than me, which kind of got me wondering, am I the only older woman who feels like they need to hit the reset button on their life not just once, but over and over again? So if you're watching this video, please do me a huge favor and give it a thumbs up and comment with your age down below if you're feeling frisky, so that I can know I'm not alone in this. Because it's hard to believe that there aren't any other moms or older women out there who also need to do regular life resets. I look forward to reading your comments. Now let's dive in. Day 1. Pause to reflect on your life. Whenever I know that I need to reset my life, my favorite place to start is with self-reflection. Self-reflection is defined as a process of meditating or putting serious thought into examining one's own character, actions, and motives, and it's the foundation of personal growth and success. It's hard to change what you don't understand, so if you want to make positive and lasting changes in your life, you need to master the art of self-reflection. One of my absolute favorite tools for this is to fill out a balanced life assessment form, which breaks down the different areas of your life and asks you to rate your satisfaction in each area on a scale from 1 to 10, with 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. The 10 life categories on this assessment include things like personal growth, health and fitness, the relationship that you have with your family, friends, and significant others, and more. This is the printable that I filled out last year, and as you can see, I was feeling pretty down about where I was in these 3 categories, so I decided to focus my efforts and attention there. After we moved back to the USA last year, because we no longer had family or friends in the area, we found ourselves feeling pretty homesick and lonely, particularly my boys. So I really made it a priority to get them settled into their new school and home routines, as well as sign them up for activities where they could meet new friends. And that had the added benefit of expanding my social circle because I was then able to make friends with the moms of their new friends. And then not only did we also achieve our goal of finding and buying a new home so that we could stay in the school district that we love, but I'm also happy to say that with the help of therapy and some fun personal growth challenges that I did, I was able to stop the binge eating that I'd relapsed into after the stress of our move and build an exercise routine that helped me lose all of the weight that I'd packed on from that. And now that we're settled into our new home and life here, doing this exercise again helped me realize that health, wellness, and improving my work-life balance are my top goals for the year ahead. And by the way, this printable is one that I designed myself, but if you're not crafty like that, I will make sure to link some similar printables that I found on Etsy down in the description box below for you in case you're interested in filling out one of those yourself. Or you could also do something as simple as using a notebook or a journal to jot down all of the life balance categories that I'm listing on the screen right now, and then rating each one of them on a scale from 1 to 10. So feel free to pause this video if you need some extra time to write those down, and I think you'll find that exercise really illuminating. The next step to resetting your life is to get clear on what you want. So that's what we're going to focus on for day 2. So what we're going to do on this day is we're going to take our rating scale from yesterday's activity and we're going to use that to set our intentions and our goals going forward. And here are some of my best tips for that. Tip number 1 is to write them down and be specific. Research has shown that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them, and it's a lot easier to make progress towards your goals if you know exactly what action steps you need to take to get there. So you don't just write, "I want to lose weight." Instead, write down exactly how much weight you want to lose and the action steps that you're going to take to actually lose the weight. I use a program called Notion to write down my goals, and you can see here all of the goals that I've planned to get myself in better shape in 2025, which includes specific and measurable goals around everything from cardio and weightlifting to drinking enough water. The second tip I have for you is to prioritize your goals. I don't know about you, but as a busy mom and YouTuber, I know that I don't have the time or the energy to focus on 10 different goals at once. So then what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll declutter my goals list, and I will get laser focused on 2 to 3 goals. And then of course, if and when I meet or need to change those goals, I can always re-examine them later, but that way I'm not spreading myself too thin trying to do everything all at once. And then finally, tip number 3 is to put a deadline on your goals. So in the time management and productivity world, there's something called Parkinson's Law, which dates back to the 1950s and states that work will expand or contract to fill the amount of time you allot to it. So what I was finding with New Year's resolutions in the past was that because I was giving myself an entire year to work towards my goals, after that initial burst of motivation that a lot of us feel at the beginning of the year, I would lose momentum and end up getting pretty lazy about working towards my goals since I knew that I had the whole year ahead of me, only to find myself at the end of the year not having accomplished anything and scrambling to try to get something done. So instead, what I do now is I set 90-day goals, and I give myself that 3-month window to get really focused on achieving 2 or 3 small goals. And then once I'm clear on my goals, I also like to create a vision board for myself, whether that's on Pinterest or a physical vision board. And I'll make sure to link some blog posts and videos that I've made about that down in the description box below if you're interested in finding out more about those topics. Day 3 is all about restoring order to your home with some light decluttering, organizing, and cleaning. Even if you only have 15 minutes to spare, set a timer and see if you can tackle at least one problem area that's gotten a little messy and chaotic in your home. I decided to go through our refrigerator and get rid of a few things that have been lingering for a few months because no one wants to eat them, like this jar of pickles, for example, and some half-eaten condiment jars and packets that we never seem to want to finish. I had originally gotten us this sauce to try from the store, but then what we were finding is no one is really eating this, and instead what we ended up liking was this, and this is already the second one that we've purchased. So we have this, and this is what we used and enjoy. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. I think that the black truffle flavor was just a little bit too overwhelming for us. If you have a bit more time, feel free to declutter and organize other rooms or spaces in your home. And in fact, I'm planning to do an entire video next week about 25 things that you can declutter in the year ahead. So make sure that you're subscribed with all notifications turned on if you don't want to miss out on that video. But right now, I'm just focusing on this one zone, aka my refrigerator, and focusing on getting that reset to the point where it's clean, clutter-free, and no longer stressing me out. And as you can see, this is everything that I got out of the refrigerator to get rid of. Just honestly, some trash and recycling and, leftover condiments and some food that we don't want to eat. But even just being able to clear out this much makes the refrigerator feel a lot better, cleaner, and more organized. Okay, so the fridge is looking a lot cleaner and more organized. However, it's a bit empty, so we are going to the store later to fill it up. But I'm glad that I got around to tackling this project because it was just getting a little bit gross. On day 4, it's time to design a morning routine that nourishes your mind, body, and spirit. How you start your day sets the tone for everything else, so it's important to get off on the right foot. At my low point last year, most nights I ended up going to bed too late, which led me to waking up sluggish and unmotivated. And that's why at the beginning of last year, I decided to do a hard reset by challenging myself to wake up at 5 a.m. every day and follow a morning routine of 6 productive habits that included things like meditation, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and journaling. Once that 30-day challenge was over, I decided to keep 3 of the 6 habits with a few other healthy habits added in, and right now my morning routine looks like this. Wake up at 6 a.m. and meditate for 10 minutes using a timed video with gentle music that I found on YouTube. And then after that, I do a sequence of moving stretches called the 5 Tibetan Rites, which takes me around 10 to 15 minutes. And then after that, I roll up and store away my yoga mat and go pour myself a tall glass of water, which I then drink slowly while I read until 7 a.m. when the preset alarm on my phone will go off to remind me that it's time to wake up my kids for school. Depending on your age, lifestyle, and goals, your morning routine might look much different than mine, but the important thing is to start your day with habits that lift you up instead of drag you down. Day 5. Add in one new positive habit. Like I said before, one big reason that a lot of people fail at their goals and resolutions is because they're trying to tackle too many things at once. And instead, a really great hack to improve your success with achieving your goals and resolutions is habit stacking. Habit stacking is a technique for creating new habits by attaching them to ones that you have already established. And I love this habit stacking formula and these examples from Atomic Habits author James Clear, which shows you how to stack a new habit either in front or immediately following an existing habit. So for example, when I wanted to add exercise into my morning routine, I knew that I needed to get my clothes ready the night before so that they would be ready when I got out of bed and I wouldn't need to risk waking my husband up searching for them and getting dressed. So at the end of the night, I stacked the habit of getting my clothes ready into the night routine I already had and got them out right before bedtime. And habit stacking works so well because you're linking new habits to ones that you're already running on autopilot. And through habit stacking, I was gradually able to create new and better habits that transformed my life, such as exercising while my kids were at swim practice, and figuring out how to get into a more efficient and money-saving routine with meal planning. So think about the new habits that you're trying to create and brainstorm how you can add them to the habits and routines that you already have. On day 6, you're going to tackle at least one task that you've been procrastinating about getting done, aka eating the frog. The phrase eating the frog comes from this titular book by Brian Tracy, and it's a productivity hack in which you identify an important task that you're likely to procrastinate on and complete it first thing in the morning. And that might mean making a call to schedule that doctor's appointment that you've been dreading, or tackling that pile of dirty laundry that's been building up in the corner of your bedroom for the past week and finally getting it washed, folded, and put away. If you need to, you can sit down and do a brain dump of all of the tasks you've been avoiding and then choose 1, 2, or even 3 things off of that list and use day 6 of your life reset to check off a few of those boxes. And finally, sometimes the best way to reset your life is to rest, which is why day 7 is all about doing things that recharge your batteries. Some of my favorite ways to recharge my batteries are taking a quiet walk in nature while listening to an inspiring podcast, or cozying up with a nice book on the sofa, especially cookbooks, which I find very relaxing to read. And remember, self-care isn't selfish, and sometimes the rest is just as important as the work. I hope you've enjoyed these ideas on how to hit the reset button on your life, and if you're looking for more tips and ideas, be sure and check out one of these videos that YouTube thinks that you like, or I'll see you next week. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.